Nigeria has one of the highest youth population in the world, accounting for 70% of the country's population. This ever-growing youth population presents unique opportunity for investors, as they are ready to contribute the energy and skills as a workforce, thereby decreasing the multi-generational poverty and creating global peace. Your Excellencies, Head of Governments, Diplomatic Corps, ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to stand on the existing protocols as I welcome all participants to this year's Berlin Economic Forum 2025. It is indeed thrilling for me to have opportunity of meeting and interacting with fellow business persons from around the world who are here gathered, which is this year's conference affords. Most importantly, it is all centered on advancing international business, sustainable investments, environmental projects, global democracy, and world peace. I doubt the fact if any nation can develop adequately under an atmosphere of chaos or war. This is why, to me, the central theme of promoting world peace is fundamental to this gathering. During the course of this conference, several other speakers and presenters, I believe, we have time to dissect the central theme into a more granular details in shapes and form. I am a businessman. I want to tailor this conference towards us as a case study. I am shifting a little bit on sustainable investment. When our country devalued our currency, prices of things started going so high. It was very high, something that you bought at $1, and you want to, after production of the product, assuming you bought raw materials at $1, by the time, in 2 days' time, you sell it at $2. After 2 days or in 3 days' time, you go back to buy your raw materials, it has already risen to $5. It was so difficult for us, we businessmen, to survive under those conditions. Some multinationals in our country started leaving the country. So for us that are indigenous manufacturing firm, what we did is to sit down and think on how to work to the betterment of the country. So we decided to go outside to invest. We thought of so many countries where you have peace, do you have good democracy, do you have you have steady water, do you have electricity? So we thought of going to, we agreed to go into South Africa. We went to South Africa, we bought an old resort, put it in order, put some modern things there, it started moving again. So the money we were making in South Africa, we were using it to buy raw materials to fund the parent company, because there is no way you can joke with our population. Our population is 222 million people. So for us that are into manufacturing, we are making, it's a nice area to do business with. So from what we saw in South Africa, we said it's a good idea. Let's go into other places to invest. During those time, traveling was a little bit difficult because of our passport and other things. So we thought of going to Caribbean, which has a very good reputation on their passport level. So we thought of Antigua and Barbuda. Antigua and Barbuda, we call it a Rolls Royce of the Caribbean. So we invested there. We went to the government. Government gave us licenses to start manufacturing of pharmaceuticals. and to manufacture water too, because they have 365 islands, and the water was a problem. They are surrounded by sea. So they gave us license to desalinate their water and then sell it to the public. So from there, we moved down to Germany. So we were able to do this because there were peace in these areas. As we are investing in there, their workers, their staff, their young youths are being employed. They were happy with us. We are paying tax. They are making money from us, and we are making money from them too. And we're able to do this because of the good atmosphere which they operate on. So, at the end of this conference, it is hoped that most of us, if not all, will leave here fully satisfied with a lot of takeaways, either in building bridges for international business and investment on advancing global peace in our all various climes. I therefore commend the resilience and tenacity of the organizers for their ability to continuously host such an excellent gathering in more than 7 years in this beautiful, historic city of Berlin. I'm therefore particularly glad to stand before you today on this auspicious occasion of Berlin Economic Forum 2025 to address a portion of international business, particularly as it relates to invitation to sustainable investment in Africa, and in particular Enugu State, where I am from. I'm sure that some of us may not have heard of Enugu State, but it's the global map. It is one of the states that make up the 36 states in Nigeria. Today, history beckons on those who dare to explore and are ready to invest in a peaceful environment, which is a major center for coal mining, iron ore deposits, fine clay, and surprisingly, lithium. You know, lithium is one of the most sought out raw materials in the world now. We have it in abundance in Nigeria because lithium can be used to produce batteries, smartphone, green energy, and even nuclear energy. Enugu is a powerhouse in agricultural production, offering fertile land and a conducive climate for various crops such as cashew, cotton, cassava, palm oil, and yellow pepper. As most of us already know, Nigeria is the largest market in Africa with over 222 million people and projected at $404 billion. The country is rich in natural resources scattered all over the states of the Federation and rich in crude oil, natural gas, gold, tin oil, etc. Nigeria has one of the highest youth population in the world, accounting for 70% of the country's population. This ever-growing youth population presents unique opportunity for investors as they are ready to contribute the energy and skills as a workforce, thereby decreasing the multi-generational poverty and creating global peace. Enugu is situated in Nigeria's southeast region with a landmass of 7,161 square meters, perched at 732 feet above sea level. It is one of Nigeria's most picturesque cities with a chain of low hills, low lands separated by water bodies. Enugu has an international airport in Nigeria's southeast region as a major logistic hub of passengers, cargo, land transport. The state is resource-rich with a gross domestic product of $4 billion. It has one of Nigeria's largest proven gas reserves and several solid minerals. Enugu holds immense economic potential in several industry verticals: agricultural, natural resources, technology, creative, tourism, energy, commerce, and many more. It is rated as the best Nigerian state in ICT development. with a rich pipeline of tech-savvy young graduates from 13 tertiary institutions in the state. Its population of about 15 million people are reputed for their hospitality and industriousness. The current administration under the governor of Enugu State, Dr. Peter Mba, who aims at growing the state GDP from $4 billion to $30 billion within 7 years, is ready and willing to support the initiative that attracts partners and investors in sales development through clearly mapped out, defined policies. I speak to you today as an international investor with major concern in South Africa, Antigua and Barbuda, most recently the Federal Republic of Germany, having begun in Enugu State of Nigeria. Most business thrive under peaceful and congenial atmosphere. As a pharmacist and as an entrepreneur, we established our indigenous pharmaceutical industry, AC Drugs Limited, in Enugu in 2001. Considered to be the pioneer of pharmaceutical manufacturing in the state. With focused vision, we ventured into production of 2 oral lines. The success of this medicament catapulted rapid expansion from a suburb to an industrialized, developed area, where we are currently located in the city capital. We began our operation on a small apartment location and manufactured common medicaments products, which amongst others became one of the first plants in the southeast Nigeria to successfully start the manufacture of ACT, artemether combination therapy. Not resting on our oars, in August 2018, we commissioned a state-of-the-art pharmaceutical plant in Enugu, producing a wide range of high-quality medicinal products that meets international standards at affordable price and competitive price under the supervision of my humble self. From the humble beginning of production of 2 oral lines in 2001, AC Drugs Limited has carried out the manufacturing and distribution of pharmaceuticals all over Nigeria and in the West African sub-region. It also operates in the area of research and development, product distribution, human capital development, and consumer goods development. The company develops a wide range of products serving major therapeutic areas such as anti-infective, gastrointestinal, anti-malaria, cardiovascular, pain reliever, cough expectorant, and many others. Today, with God on our side and with the support of state and national government, and of course the unflinching loyalty of our teeming customer, AC Drugs is ranked as one of the fastest growing pharmaceutical manufacturing companies in Nigeria, known for quality and products at prices that are of high value. We have over 1,000 staff workforce operating a rotational shift base with research and development team, and have manufactured a wide range of products. We have been able to achieve these strides under a convivial and peaceful political atmosphere because Nigeria embraced democratic rule since 1999 and have been under authoritarian military regime for over 2 decades after independence. This new government that came in now, before it was so chaotic for people to do business. The new government came in and changed the narratives. Things started moving so well. Our currency is now stable. The security is being taken care of. And that's why we are now calling for people, calling for government, calling for countries to come and invest in our country. Before, we are known for oil, crude oil. We don't really refine the crude oil. What they were doing then was to bring out the crude oil, send it to any person, any country, any corporate affairs. They refine the crude oil there and then bring it back to us. That was the work of the old government. But right now, the new government, because we have problem of leadership, the new government that is now in place is working so well. They are now trying to see working on our old refineries for us to start refining our oil so that we can make money and then employ our youths. That is why even in the lithium that they found out recently, before you are given license to start operating in lithium, you must have your industry so that you, instead of taking the raw material out, you have a base where the lithium can be oxidized as lithium oxide before you start taking it out. In that case, the industry is now in Nigeria. People that are working there will be Nigerians, and instead of roaming the streets, they will then start working. This is one of the things that the investment, sustainable investment does for a country. It brings about relationship, good relationship, peace, and unity. So, we're all witnesses to the chaotic and toxic nature of business operating in war-torn countries around the globe, if they have such liberty at all to function. Most political analysts, writers, and observers believe that to attain world peace, democracy ought to have been globalized in line with the standard of articles or Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The state of peace and observance of rule of law and human rights in any nation propels economy, social and cultural developments, and thus encourage international investment and sustainable business. Nigeria has carefully sustained its democratic principles since 1999, leading to a growing and thriving nation in Africa, which today stands as the 5th largest economy in the continent, with the largest gross domestic product. It is on this note that I make bold to invite you to a leap of faith, discarding most of the overhyped media stories on insecurity and violence, to come and invest in our land that has a profitable returns on investment. The government and people of Enugu State have set out direct and seamless policies for genuine investors to come and partner with them. It is on that stuff that we cut our teeth, grew the business to what it is today, and carefully ventured to the global scene, giving us the leverage to invest here in Germany and other parts of the world, as I earlier mentioned. Let me say in closing, by way of stating the obvious, which I believe most of us might already have known, that the big Asian countries are already jostling in to become the first to invest in Enugu State. Why are you waiting? I invite you all to come and invest in Enugu State, Nigeria. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you today and for taking out time to listen as you make up your minds to partner with us, either as corporate or with the government. I am personally looking forward to welcoming you. Thank you.